Football is a sport loved, enjoyed, and played by many people all over the world. Many people suffer from CTE due to being so involved in this contact sport. CTE, or better known as chronic traumatic encephalopathy, is a disease of the brain found in people with a history of brain trauma. Some symptoms include memory loss, confusion, impaired judgment, aggression, depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. Now, obviously, we should not change the nature of football due to CTE, but we definitely need to take more precautions. Coaches need to stress safety, players need to use new helmets, and they need to learn and use proper technique. A study published in 2018 by researchers at the VA Brain Bank found that 94% of football players who play in the college or NFL had been diagnosed with CTE. All the data found shows the widespread of the disease thanks to the commitment by the alumni and their families to support CTE research by participating in brain donation. This disease does not only affect the player, but it also affects the family. A new study at the Boston University, a researcher named Dr. Anne McKee examined the brains of 202 deceased football players. She found that 110 of the 111 brains of the former NFL players had CTE. As someone who has been playing football for 9 years and has had 2 concussions, I am possibly at risk for developing CTE. If this were to happen to me or anyone I knew on my varsity football team, on our varsity football team, I would be devastated. We need to take precautions before it's someone we know next. According to myclevelandclinic.org, you can reduce the risk of developing CTE by reducing the number of times you take a hit to the head. UliTexas.org offers a coach's checklist on safety precautions, some including statements don't glorify headhunters. And a headhunter is a player who hits really hard and knocks the ball out. Also, coaches should not seek out players to hurt other players. A player's helmet must also fit properly before they even think about stepping on the field. Coaches should do checks often to ensure players have the perfect helmet before every game. Also, players must tackle with their head up, head first, so they do not risk head injury. If all players are on alert, playing the sport correctly, it can reduce CTE cases. Although many people think CTE precautions will soften the sport and ruin the entertainment, you need to think about all the hardships going on around the world. Would you rather a really big hit that knocks a ball out, or your family members or your favorite player's life? Improving helmets can help prevent CTE. The newer helmets are receiving a lot of attention in concussion prevention research. For example, the 1500 Vicey 01 helmet is designed with a soft outer layer that crumples after impact. The crumple slows down the impact so the player does not get as hurt as he usually would with another helmet. No helmet can guarantee total safety, but these new helmets can definitely make the sport a lot safer. Learning and using proper technique will also reduce CTE cases. The new recommendations, which were presented at the AAP National Conference in Washington, D.C., stress proper tackling technique and likelihood to reduce injury. The use of improper tackling can lead to an ejection of the game, or in the NFL, a $15,000 fine. With the people stressing safety, developing new helmets, and coaches using proper technique, we can help save many innocent lives just trying to play the sport they love. This season, about 70 NFL players are wearing new helmets, and coaches are stressing the new techniques. Since this act has happened, there have been 3 times as less concussions than in previous years. The NFL has made 47 rule changes since 2002 to protect players, improve practice methods, better educate players on concussions, and strengthen the league's medical attention. We need everyone's help to stop CTE. Now I have a short video presentation to show you. It's coming, Ms. Canales.
The use of helmet rule states that it is a foul if a player lowers his head to initiate and make contact with his helmet against an opponent.
I'm Jeff Crandall. I'm a professor at the University of Virginia. I'm also the chair of the NFL Engineering Committee. We do a video review of each and every concussion. We've been doing it the last 3 years, and we started to notice when we looked at the video that a large number of players were leading with their helmet, initiating contact that caused concussions. It's not only the leading with the head, but it's lowering the body, pitching over, and leaning into the impact. What we did was a biomechanical analysis that looked at player behavior related to leading with the helmet, lowering the head. Through computer simulations, one of the things we've seen is it's not only the crown of the helmet, but a much larger area of the head, that when a player leads with their helmet, they cause increased risk potential in the player they strike. The consequences of this are they remove the curvature of the neck, and they put themselves at greater risk of having a catastrophic spinal injury. The consequences of this for the player they hit when they're tackling or blocking are that they recruit more of the mass of their body and put larger forces through their helmet. This increases the risk of concussion in the players they strike. We had examples on field of concussions occurring under leading with the helmet, and we had the biomechanical explanation of why it was risky. So when you put these two together, it makes a pretty compelling case that we need to get this behavior out of the game.
Get your head in the game while keeping your head safe. Thank you.
100.